Episode 9. Thanks for tuning in. Hall of Fame game going on right now. I'm half paying attention. I paid attention for the first quarter, and it was a punt fest. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the start of the NFL season. Super exciting. Can't fucking wait for September. What is it? September 9th, I think, is Wednesday's Super Bowl rematch. Don't really care for that game as much as the rest of the week. Obviously, Eagles play. The Australia game, super interesting. We'll get into mostly football in a second. Just wanted to touch on, post trade deadline just for a second. The Phillies with a rise. I mean, the Phillies need to keep Luis Ariz batting fourth until further notice. Don't move him. Don't mess with him in the lineup. Got to put someone else fifth. Can't have Boone batting fifth. He is double play centric, especially with the rise getting on base as much as he does. Not as much power. Did hit his first home run with the Phillies the other night or last night. Don't move Luis Ariz out of that spot, but yeah, the Phillies still have glaring holes, and they're going to show up late in the season. We'll get there when we get there, but for now, hey, Luis Ariz, what an ad on offense. He's exactly what they need offensively, minus not being a right-handed bat and not having power. But again, can't ask for everything, right? But hey, that's a good ad. The Dodgers have been struggling. Will it matter come 2 months from now? Probably not. But hey, it's baseball. It's a long season. You never know what happens. But they're struggling. They're getting old pretty quick. It seems like. I still think they have the resources to be fine by the end of the season and in the next couple years. But you never know. It's baseball. It came down to Game 7 last year against Toronto. Nobody thought Toronto was going to be the team out of the American League. So can't just bet on the Dodgers winning the World Series just like that for the third straight year. Obviously, it would be a good bet. Physically betting them probably won't make a ton of money, but that's about the baseball talk I'm going to give tonight. On the Thursday, what do we got? Like 6 Thursdays, 5 or 6 Thursdays left until the season, probably 5. Even though the season starts on Wednesday, Patriots Seahawks rematch of the Super Bowl back in February. This Super Bowl gonna be on Valentine's Day. Ladies, let your man watch the game. Maybe he'll do something the next day for you. It's my birthday the next day, but oh yeah. By the way, had to rock a little green. Should have said that at the beginning. Rock a little green. Had to get a little Super Bowl action from last year. Didn't want to go full on Kelly Green. You'll see that in the next couple of weeks as we dive straight into the season. But I had to get a little bit going. But anyway, yeah, nobody playing tonight that we really care about. Carson Beck, and Kenny Pickett. I mean, Carson Beck could be the starter by the end of the season. Who nobody has any idea what the Cardinals are up to. Jacoby Brissett got his 1 year deal. They got Gardner Minshew on the team as well. I'd imagine all three of those guys are going to get time at this point during the season, at some point during the season, but don't even want to focus on that game all that much. Couple things. So a bunch of contracts going to, a lot of guys getting contracts the last week or so. Jahmyr Gibbs, the latest guy, highest paid running back in the sport. Jonathan Taylor got a contract. Bijan Robinson got a contract. As for receivers, Chris Olave, Zay Flowers got big time money. But when I saw these contracts come out, I was like, all right, how do I want to react to all these, running backs getting deals? And it made me think of, I posted a TikTok today talking about quarterback pressure and how the general mainstream media, whether it be TV or internet, because it seems like, internet and podcasting has become pretty mainstream at this point. But everyone talks about the quarterbacks with the most pressure. And the thing with that is it's like there's all different types of pressures for quarterbacks. There's winning a Super Bowl pressure. There's getting to the playoffs pressure. There's keeping your job pressure. It's all different types. You could say C.J. Stroud has the most pressure in the league because he may not have a job with the Texans in a couple years. Who knows? You could say Josh Allen has the most pressure because he's due for a Super Bowl appearance / win. Same thing for Lamar. But what I wanted to talk about was with all these guys getting contracts, what teams are under the most pressure to win this year? What teams? That way we can actually base it on, how the teams are being built where the teams are at in their current fold. So I put a list of 6 teams. I wanted to do top 5, but I had to do 6. I guess this is the order I would go in from top to bottom. The Bills. Bills have the most pressure to win the Super Bowl, and it's Josh Allen centric. We know this. Josh Allen, pretty much known as the best quarterback in the sport now. With Pat Mahomes right there, obviously, and you got Matt Stafford at his age. I think those are the top 3. I've said that previously. But everyone thinks it's Josh Allen right now, talent wise. Mahomes had a couple downish seasons. I've seen people be like, well, look at his numbers last year. They weren't all that bad until the end of the season when he got hurt. Just watch the games. He was not, maybe it's partially the offense, maybe it's not. Maybe it's partially the offensive, the offensive guys around him, the offensive personnel. But let's get into the teams that, sorry. The Bills have so much pressure to win the Super Bowl. You thought last year was their year. They blew it against Denver. Big turnover by Allen. I think they only lost by a field goal. They should have had that game. Yeah, Bo Nix got hurt. They should have won that game. I think he got hurt late in the game, very late in the game. But regardless, Josh Allen was favored to win that game. They needed to win that game. I know it was on the road. Regardless, the pressure is now. It's on now for the Bills. And it's the same thing with the Ravens. I have them at number 3, but I'm going to bounce around because it's the same reason. That's Lamar. Lamar and new coaching staff is going to be tough, but for the same reasons as I said with Josh Allen, Lamar's got the hardware. He's got the MVPs. Was last year just a down year for him, or is this the decline of the running quarterback that he is? We'll have to see. Now bounce back to number 2. Teams with most pressure to win the Super Bowl. It's the Rams. I mean, I didn't put them at number 1, even though you could say roster-wise they have the most pressure. Maybe they get Aaron Donald back at some point, Myles Garrett, Trent McDuffie, got new guys. Obviously Puka had his offseason issues. He's ready to go. Devontae Adams, Matt Stafford could etch his name in like maybe the top 10 of quarterbacks if they win a Super Bowl this year. Who knows? But with their loaded roster, absolutely loaded team, the most loaded team in the entire league. They have the most pressure in the NFC, no doubt, to win a Super Bowl. And you'll notice most of the teams on my list, minus the Rams, haven't won a Super Bowl recently. The Rams are the only one. They won back in 2021 or 2022 when they beat the Bengals. They're it's mainly because of their roster and how they've pushed all their chips into the middle. So Bills, Rams, Ravens top 3. Number 4, the Detroit Lions, and this is how I thought of the list. There's a list of everybody that's gotten paid. There's a list that everyone's gotten paid for the Lions. I should have pulled it up. I think I have it saved. Well, this is really bad TV or internet. But the Detroit Lions are paying everybody. They're paying a ton of guys. Here it is. Sorry about that. They're paying Gibbs, Hutchinson, Campbell, Goff, St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Jameson Williams, Kirby Jones. They're paying all these guys. They're paying guys on the offensive line, the offensive skill players, the quarterback, defensive line, defensive skill players. They are paying everybody. How long is this core going to last? This is the second year removed from Ben Johnson being gone. They need to win now. Their window is this year and next year, because after that, who knows what Jahmyr Gibbs, they're going to use the fuck out of him these next couple years. Who knows how long he's going to go. I mean, who knows how long Jared Goff has. He's been in the league for a decade now. Who knows? I mean, he could have a couple years. He could have 3 years of really good football left. Their window is now. If they don't win in the next 2 years, I think their window will have been closed by then. You're paying all these guys, you got to win. You got to win. So that's the top 4. And then the last 2 are kind of interchangeable. I didn't really know what order to go in. But it's Justin Herbert and the Chargers. I mean, again, this is quarterback-centric. This is coach-centric. This is the 3rd year of Jim Harbaugh in that system. They need Justin Herbert needs to prove that he is a playoff big time quarterback. I'm tired of seeing him in the top 5, top 6 quarterback rankings when he has done less than guys like Jalen Hurts, guys like Sam Darnold. I mean, he he's obviously a super talented quarterback, and it's tough to keep him out of my top 10. I'll have my quarterback list soon. It's tough to keep him out of my top 10, but he should not be top 5 right now. He's not proved it. Same thing with Joe Burrow. Joe's proved it to an extent, but it's been a few years. Those guys, they should not be top 5 quarterbacks right now. Talent or not. They need to prove that they are a perennial contender in the AFC. Not that they don't have to get to the Super Bowl. It would be very helpful, but they got to win playoff games. They got to prove that they can compete in their division. They were 5-1 in it last year. Couldn't take advantage of it come playoff time. Chargers number 5 and number 6 Dallas. Look, everyone, you're gonna put the Eagles up there. The Eagles just won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Like, you know, let's stop that. They have different type of pressure. Again, Dak's been there over a decade. Second year with Schottenheimer. They got one of the best offenses in the entire league, is what everyone's telling me. Gotti. They're calling it Gotti. Gotti got to show up. Gotti got to show up. Like, I don't know if George Pickens is going to be great in his second year with the team. He might be. He might be. CeeDee Lamb, he's had some injury issues the last couple of years. Not missing a ton of time, but this team needs to win now. They got a nice young defense. Like I said, Dak's been in the league for a decade. Prove that you can win some playoff games. Prove that you can win in the playoffs. The only thing I can remember in my head is with Dak and the Cowboys in the playoffs, and I can't remember if this is the last playoff game that they actually were in. I apologize for it. But the only two things I can remember from Dallas and Dak in the playoffs are the 2 losses to Green Bay. I just saw some guy get rocked. Holy, big catch. But regardless, was the Mason Crosby kick to end the game and the Jordan Love domination against the Cowboys a few years back. They don't win playoff games. Most of my list, it's teams that have not won the big playoff games. Go win the big playoff games. Obviously, the Bills, the Ravens, or the Bills, Ravens, Rams, Lions, all these teams except the Chargers and Cowboys have been to a conference championship game. But they haven't really, proved that they are perennial playoff winners. And that's not to say that these teams are bad. Obviously, they're great teams, most of them. But yeah, Bills, Rams, Ravens, Lions, Chargers, Cowboys, top 6 teams, most pressure to win the championship this year. I went a little bit longer than I wanted to on this because I was trying to show something. That's totally my bad. But I had the Jaguars, the Packers, 49ers also up there, but just missing the top of my list. Quarterback rankings coming out soon. Team rankings, we'll do some Piscopio pillars, and then we'll do playoff predictions. Gotta have some new teams in there. Gotta have a surprise team, right? There's always a surprise team. There's always new playoff teams, 4 to 5 playoff teams. New. So we'll get there in the next couple weeks. Couple stories, obviously. Aaron Donald had a workout with the team. Had a workout with the Rams. Not a full workout, but put a helmet on. I don't think he's going to start the season. I think he'll be back, but I think it'll be anywhere like end of October to November. I think we can expect the Aaron Donald return. I don't think he's going to come back for week 1. I don't think so. That's my quick take on that one. Stephon Diggs, this is quick takes, right? We're just going to do quick takes on this. Stephon Diggs to Washington. That's a big help for them. I'll give them that. They needed a second guy other than Terry McLaurin to actually be a proven guy for a young guy in Jane Daniels. For these young quarterbacks, you need proven dudes who can catch the ball. And it just pushes everyone down the depth chart just a bit, and I think that's important for a young guy again in Jaden Daniels. So good pickup for them. Honestly, probably one of the better teams that he could have gone to. Not that it's one of the best teams that he could have gone to, but as per impact, I think it'll help them. I don't think that Washington is a playoff team. Still have a couple weeks to decide that, but they could still be a last place team in that division. But it'll be a help. I think they'll probably be around 500 if I had to guess. That's my guess. Ooh, nice catch by number 80 for. I'm not even gonna say his name for the Cardinals. Finally, some touchdowns. See me. His first name See me. But anyway, yeah. Quick takes. What's another one we can do? Oh, the Rams 49ers. So their game's in Australia. Second day. The Thursday night game. The Rams are only leaving like a day before the season, and the 49ers are traveling a whole week ahead. And I just love how the entire internet's like, yeah, they need to get the fuck away from that substation. That is crazy though, right? Everyone wants to be like, push away conspiracy theories and stuff, but it's like, it's bad. Like, that, there's so many. 20 players are injured. Like what? I think they said a quarter of their team right now is injured. It's August. What is we got? August 6th. Season doesn't start for another month. Like holy shit, they got so many injuries. Um, Definitely want to hammer the Rams on that. They're probably going to be favored by like 4.5. I'm going to guess. I haven't looked at the line yet. They'll probably drop down to 3.5. I still might hammer the Rams on that one. But not that I'm even a big betting guy anymore. But yeah. So that's a funny thing. What else we got? Oh yeah, There's a story that Geno Smith is getting. Was it red contacts? Said he's wearing red contacts to help with the glare. Santonio Holmes was the first person to tell Smith about it, and an eye specialist brought it up again. This reminds me of like the Timu version of Jameis Winston getting eye surgery. Like Geno Smith. I do feel bad for I feel bad for the Jets fans. I do. Um, Always been the little brother in New York. I'm trying to think if they won a playoff game more recently. No, they haven't won a playoff game more recently than the Giants. But they've both been around the same, mediocrity. Maybe the Giants have had more success in the last few years, definitely. But red contacts is crazy. it's just funny to think of. But yeah, can't wait for the NFL season to start. Prediction week. I'm gonna call it in 2-3 weeks. Well, by the next episode, we'll get to it. We'll get some peeks into my brain about my predictions. But can't wait. Gonna pretend like I care about this Hall of Fame game for the next hour and a half. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. And episode 10 on the way. NFL season coming back very quickly. Thanks for watching.